Hello everyone and welcome to Make Your Mind. This is the latest of my Saturday evening sculpture premieres. Now, I may have stated that I'm actually pre-recording this. This isn't actually going to be posted as a regular video, only because currently, right now, as you're watching this, as this is being posted, I'm actually at work. I had a schedule change, so I had to turn this into a regular video, so I do apologize for those of you who were waiting for a premiere to be able to live chat. For those regulars that come to watch, I do apologize, but next week, I think I'll be working Sunday, so I may be able to have an actual normal premiere. But that does not deter the awesomeness that's about to come on your screen and on this channel here tonight. Oh man. As stated in my Wednesday preview, I was in the process of making two of probably some of the most highly anticipated Subnautica Leviathan mods, anyway, that have come across in a long time. Been a couple of good ones, but these two in particular, mainly because of the YouTuber that is involved in making them, and also just the sheer, I don't know, just the creativity and the awesomeness that these creatures are. So without further ado, viewers and subscribers alike, may I introduce to you my final depictions of the Bloop and the Blaza, starting off with the Blaza. Let me get him in the shot here. I got these pedestals up here just to kind of show off what they look like. Let me get the whole body into the shot here. And there we go. Here, let me bend the tail a little bit more, make it a little more realistic, show off the fin. And there we go. There is the Blaza. The Blaza was actually named from a YouTuber that actually plays with another YouTuber named Socks for One. If you want to check out the video of them actually showing off this mod in the game, I left a link down in the description below where you can check out Socks for One's video featuring the Blaza, which is actually named off of a fellow YouTuber that's a friend of his. And there's another story behind it, but I don't want to spoil it too much. Just go check out his video, and they actually explain a little bit further from there. And they show it in the game. But as you can see, I took the idea of the Blaza. The original concept art was made by Subnautica, made by Alex Reese quite a long time ago, but it was never used. This is essentially a large eel-like creature that actually has armor plating going all the way down its body. And it has the face of an eel, but almost more sort of like a viper fish, like I talked about in the first video I did on Wednesday. The viper fish, the creature's teeth are so large that it can't actually close its mouth all the way, so it actually keeps its mouth open pretty much all the time. And this is a creature that will actually, in the mod, in the game, can actually grab your sea moth and grab your prawn suit, and it will actually attack the Cyclops as well, but you can find these in the blood kelp zones, and you can also find one of these in the Lost River, which, it's terrifying to see one of these, because they're really long, and on top of that, just like the Reaper, the Blaza has no, and I mean no, bioluminescence. It has nothing. This creature comes out of the darkness. If it's dark, you will not see it until it's already too late. I did a couple of changes to the actual creature. I sort of changed the teeth around and made them a little bit oblong shaped, and sort of made them sort of mismatched, like the creature would bite and then lose teeth, kind of like the Stalker does. I also put these sort of rudimentary fins on the back of the tail here, on the little armor sections. And that is the sort of idea that I had for the Blaza. Of course, I got the dark blue body with the light blue eyes, just like the concept art. And this one, man, this one took me a long time, because I had to hand mold each one of these individual sections and then do it twice so I could do the top and the bottom. The head didn't take me that long, but the rest of the body, my goodness, that took me almost an hour and a half to finish just the entire body here. But there is my depiction of the Blaza. Now, the one that a lot of people have been talking about, mainly because of the backstory of the creature itself. But here, let me put him front and center. I got this pedestal right here because this creature, it does have some bits on the bottom that I don't want to have flattened. But I'll do a close-up of the creature before I put it on the pedestal. And that is the Bloop. Now, the Bloop is an extremely formidable creature. Mainly because, well, look at it. Here, let me take this out real quick. I will explain this piece in just a moment. Oh, come here, you. Come on. But there is the Bloop. The Bloop is essentially like Subnautica's gigantic version of something like an angelfish or a giant porcupine fish or a pufferfish. That it's sort of round body, and it has these spines that sort of protrude off of it, like it was a smaller creature that then evolved into the size that it is. Mainly because of that maw, that gigantic mouth. And the Bloop is the only Leviathan, if I'm not mistaken, other than the Gargantuan. I'm pretty sure that the Bloop is the only Leviathan that can swallow the player and kill the player in one hit, or basically in one bite, and it will swallow and destroy a Seamoth in one bite, or the prawn suit in one bite. It's pretty terrifying, actually. But as you can see, it has these spiked protrusions that come out of the side of its head here, with the sort of back of its head sort of coming around like this hard casing in the front. It has these very crude sort of rudimentary eyes in the front that are very small and can't really see very well, but it really doesn't have to, because the mouth is just so big that this thing could literally swallow anything. And this thing could even, honestly, it'll swallow Stalker's Hole, it'll swallow a Warper, it could swallow a Crab Squid. There's very few creatures, basically anything underneath a Reaper, essentially can be swallowed whole by the Bloop. And I would even say even a Reaper would have a hard time trying to fend off this thing. Mainly because of the spiked sort of protection that it has, and also just that massive mouth with the pharyngeal jaw in the back that has the complete second set of teeth. But there was a little piece that I took off a little while ago. Let me see right here. Let me go ahead and put it back together real quick. It kind of came apart. But one of the cool things about the Bloop is the fact that in the game, modded in the game, the Bloop actually has a secondary attack. It actually has a special attack. Now, it doesn't grab the prawn suit in a way, but what it does do is it does this, which is a vortex. Very similar to the vortex torpedoes that the Seamoth and the prawn suit actually are able to fire. The Bloop actually has the ability, because when you read the PDA entry, it actually talks about how the Bloop has basically a giant, its mouth is so big, and its mouth, the entire inside is basically hollow. What it does is it actually sucks in water at such a high rate of speed and with so much volume that it's able to suck in anything into its mouth and then just eat everything either whole or be able to chomp massive bites. So when this thing's coming at you, you see a vortex of water going into its mouth. And if you get too close, it basically sucks you right in. And that's one of the main things about the Bloop that is both amazing and also incredibly terrifying. Oh, come on, there we go. But as you can see, it also has a little bit of bioluminescence on the back with these little yellow dots right there on the back. I did change the design a little bit. I did make the head a little bit wider, and the mouth is also a little bit wider. As you can see. Once again, like most of my sculptures, the wax clay, you just got to work with it. It's not exactly perfect, but look at that thing, man. So this thing swims around, and you are literally a speck. I mean, the player character... the Seamoth next to the Bloop... the player character next to the Bloop is about this big. So when the Bloop comes up, you're being swallowed whole. That's not even a question. But I did change the design a little bit. I actually didn't put any sort of fingers or anything in between the fins, and I left them sort of open and transparent. Whoop. Kind of like I did with the void version of the Chelicerae. Which, if you want to check out that video, go check out this title card right up here. Go check that out, and go check out the void Chelicerae that I made. That was a fun one to make. The void Chelicerae is just one of those things that is just, it's so terrifying. Sorry about that, it slipped out of my hand, so I gotta fix it real quick. There we go. But there you have it. The two big mods from Subnautica. The Bloop and the Blaza. Now, the Blaza was, of course, made by Socks for One, and the Bloop was actually a bunch of depictions that was eventually created by a mod team through Nexus Mods. And the Bloop, one of the cool things I do like about the Bloop is the fact that it's not in it yet, I don't believe, but they're actually going to take the actual Bloop sound, which, if you don't know what that is, the Bloop is actually a sound that was actually captured on an underwater microphone. It was the sound of a collapsing glacier, and it was said to be one of the loudest sounds ever recorded underwater. Now, for those of you who don't know, sound actually travels faster underwater than it does in air. And the sound was so intense that it literally, if anybody was within 5 miles of that sound, their eardrums would have blown out instantly. It was so loud. But they're going to be adding a similar sound, at least the sound, maybe not the same decibel level, but the sound definitely to the Bloop, which is an amazing detail. Because as of right now, the creature has grunts and these sort of like grumbly, growling noises, which is kind of strange for a creature like this, because it normally doesn't growl. Like, I can imagine the Blaza growling. But the Bloop, its mouth is just so big, I don't know how it would be able to growl or anything, but there you have it, folks. The Bloop and the Blaza. Two actually very highly requested sculptures for this channel. And it definitely took me a little longer than expected, but these were some really fun ones to make. But I do ask this question to any one of the viewers watching. Who do you think would win in a fight? The Bloop or the Blaza? I have my own predictions of who would win, but I'd like to see what you guys have to say. So leave a comment down below. Which one do you think would win in a fight? If there was a territorial fight that ever happened where the Bloop and the Blaza ended up crossing paths, who would win? I don't know. The Blaza's fast, but the Bloop can swallow things whole, so who knows? And the Blaza may be small, but that's a pretty formidable set of jaws right there, so don't count it so short. But with that, thank you all so much for watching this video. Once again, I do apologize that this isn't a full premiere like I normally would, mainly because, well, I gotta work right now. And if you guys would love to, and you'd love to support the channel, I do have an Etsy store where I sell pins. You may have noticed these 3 pins up here on the top. These are the 3 pins that I have for sale in my store. I have my limited edition, my first edition Watermark pins. I also have my official pin, and then I also have my Gargantuan pin. Look at that. That just looks amazing. And I make all of these by hand, and with these in particular, I'm only making 20 of them. There's only 20 of them, so get them while you can. Gotta say, these have been a pretty hot ticket item, so get them while you can. So with that, that's for the Etsy store. And if you don't want to get a pin and wish to donate direct, I do have a paypal.me, so go check out what the links down below. Or you can do what most people do, which is leave a like down below, and remember to subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, so you don't miss the next video. The next premiere, I'm going to, once again, leave it as a surprise. I think that's what I'm going to do. The Wednesday preview is going to basically showcase what the sculpture is going to be for the upcoming Saturday premieres. So stay tuned for the preview coming up this next Wednesday. And with that, I will see all of you on the next Sculpture Showcase.